Go ahead and call the Committee of the Whole meeting together. It is Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. Melissa, could you do a roll call, please?
Keller.
Here.
Tice.
Here.
Hedges.
Here.
Plitzka.
Here.
Hallinan.
Here.
Moats.
Here.
Brooks.
Here.
Duval.
Here.
Great, everybody's here. Thank you very much. The first order of business, you should have received a copy of the minutes from our March 19th meeting. That's when Tim Colburn was here to talk about the JED and JED updates. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Not give a motion to approve them. So moved by Tom Duval, seconded by John Moats. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Those minutes are approved. Council, tonight under new business, you have an ordinance and an engagement letter that I want you should have already received it. So I kind of want to bring you up to speed with a timeline and some events. Tonight, the committee is going to consider hiring a consultant. As you all remember, between January 4th, 2023 till April the 11th, 2024, the Circleville Police Department has been in the news negatively for months. During that time, the leadership has departed through retirement and resignation. Today, we have acting leadership and young, talented police officers. Multiple council members contacted me about council taking the lead to bring in an outside resource to help review the department's policies, training, structure, and how to begin the rebuilding process for a better police department for its employees, the public, and the community. So I selected a team to conduct interviews with potential police department consultants. That team consisted of the mayor, the law director, councilperson Zach Brooks, and councilperson Katie Hedges, and myself. And Zach and Katie, I want to both publicly thank you for taking the extra time to be a part of those interviews. We held 6 interviews, 4 of them in person, 2 of them through video meetings during the weeks of June the 17th and June the 24th. The law director's role was to listen to all the feedback of potential consultants and draft a letter of engagement. That letter will spell out the scope of work to be completed. That letter is the attachment to this legislation that was sent to you by our clerk on August the 2nd last week. All the interviews were discussions about not reliving the past. We don't want to do that. It's about looking forward to do what's best for our police department. On July the 19th, the law director and I contacted a consultant about the availability to complete the work and that letter of engagement. Today, we have a police chief testing process about to take place. The mayor testified to the Civil Service Commission about the need to allow outside applicants for the job, and that request was approved. The mayor can advise where that process stands. The mayor announced this past Friday the hiring of a safety director who will start employment in the near future. The legislation and the engagement letter before the committee would allow the council president to hire retired Ohio State Patrol Colonel Paul Pride to begin working on helping our department begin the rebuilding process for the Circleville Police Department. Mr. Pride is a law enforcement expert that the police department, the administration, city council, city and county agencies, and the public should welcome to help the rebuilding of the police department. Mr. Pride will produce an initial report and recommendations, which will be all public information. Okay, so that was a process we went through. It was very thorough, took a lot of time. And so tonight, you have received the legislation, it's right here, and the scope of work or the letter of engagement. Committee, you have any questions for me or comments?
Exhibit A, I couldn't find Exhibit A, which is the contract.
Melissa sent that to you on the 19th.
Okay, when I was so the question I had is there a maximum length of time? I saw it's $85 per hour.
Sure. So
40 hours a week.
yeah, so he's going to come in and be here a lot once hired, and within 45 days, and that was the timeline we gave to every consultant we talked to. We want some feedback initially. And the work may be done, or it may say, no, we need additional, I may need additional weeks or months to do further work. But we'll know some information within 45 days.
Okay. So that's work days, 9 weeks? Or is it-
No, we
Yes.
did straight days, so it'll actually be, the 45-day window will be
Oh, I got you.
approximately the beginning of October?
I got you.
Yeah.
So with, as it states in the ordinance, no more than 40 hours a week.
Right.
Got it.
And this person, through our conversation with him, he will be on site and do a lot of work, visit a lot of people, talk to a lot of people. He's going to talk to all the department employees, the administration, council members, government agencies, prosecuting office, municipal court, community members, as well as look at the department structure and review, and then have recommendations. Tom?
One thing on that is, have we had any pushback from anyone in any of the departments that we're concerned about?
Hiring the consultant?
Yes.
So the mayor has been a part of the process all along. And then this past Friday, before we sent the letter of engagement and legislation to the clerk, which makes it a public document, I met with the acting chief of police, Kenny Fisher, and advised him of the consultant.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to tell him before he read about it in the paper. So
Yeah.
I advised him.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you.
Katie?
Just one comment I would make, having been a part of the process. I think this gentleman has tons of really pertinent experience. I think we are faced with a situation where the timing of a lot of things is not great. And we have a lot of new leadership, a lot of existing leadership in that department. And my attitude with this process is this is just another tool in the toolbox to continue to move forward. As we are asking the citizens to support the levy, I think this is another critical component that we make sure that they know that we as a collaborative united front are doing everything we can to provide all safety forces all the potential help and support that they may need to move forward in the best possible direction. So I was a huge proponent of this process, and I think we ended up with a really positive candidate.
I will tell you too, and Katie and Zach can verify this, when we talked to the candidates and the firms, it was nothing about reliving the past.
Mhm.
That past is behind us. It's about going forward, about the future and rebuilding. That's what the conversation was about. Anyone else? Richie, you said you had a comment? Comment, okay. Anyone else from the audience have a comment? Yes, sir. Your name and your address.
My name's Jeff Coleman, 1480 Kingston Pike. Katie, letting the public know these things is a big component, and you speak to the future and moving forward. I think to get the public behind you in this situation, like she said, is informing them of what we're doing, but also why we did what we did. There's still a lot of unknown rumors skirting the streets of Circleville, and I think if we want this levy to pass coming in November, we need to first address why we did the things we did, and then show them the path we have moving forward. So we can address and own what we did, show them we've learned from that by hiring a consultant, and where we're moving forward. And that's really, I applaud Katie on that, because that is a great involvement of the community in showing them what you want to do. So
I will tell you that we were very upfront. This is going to be a transparent process. It's going to be available to the public. Any of the recommendations, we want to hear the truth. Those are all going to be public. And as you mentioned, we're trying to also work towards getting to the renewal of the levy.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, not a renewal, but a passage.
a passage of levy, yes, sir.
Yes. So yes, it will all be public and
And-
transparent.
and-
And I fully expect when the timing is right, Mr. Pride will be standing right there delivering that report.
And that's great. And unfortunately, we live in a time where we can get a handful of people to show up to this meeting and 20 to watch it online.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we need to figure out how we can reach out beyond this room
Oh, yeah.
and this council sitting in this room tonight, making a decision or passing a decision, or what direction we're moving, and how we involve the people that are in this community. So that's just something I think we
Yeah.
need to look for.
I can't echo your sentiments about that enough. And I always hope that the 4 people that show up here tell 7 people, and the 20 people that watch
I'm
it
doing my
online tell
best.
7 people. Yeah. So, I appreciate that. And I think, it's important too that I think we recognize this to hire an outside person who has expertise in doing that. So that's exactly what we've done. And I think to Barry's point, we needed a non-biased perspective, and that's why we did what we,
100%.
that's why we've approached it.
100%. Thank you guys for your time. That's, like I said, I wasn't planning on speaking, but I didn't know what we were talking about tonight, so that was great. I'm glad I was here. Thank you,
for
guys.
Comments.
And I'm sure Kenny understood that, and they all understand that it's open and safe environment and all of that, because everybody's got to speak to what they should speak to. Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, and that's something that we discussed with our candidates, was that, we don't want our acting leadership to feel like we're bringing somebody in to breathe down their neck.
Right.
Rather just somebody to kind of help out the young leadership. So
Good.
Paul he was a really good candidate. I mean, he had his ducks in a row and knew more than I could have ever imagined he was bringing to the table. So it was awesome to just talk to him and hear all of his stories and insights.
Yeah. For anybody that knows the need to be transparent, to be the head of the Ohio State Patrol, he knows how to be transparent and available to the public.
Well, that's great to hear as you're part of that process. Thanks.
Okay, committee, you have a recommendation?
So I'd make a recommendation that we forward this on to council with a recommendation to move forward.
Yep. And it will be held for its first reading and hopefully pass on the August 20th meeting. Is there a second? Seconded by Zach Brooks. Roll call, please, on the motion to forward this to council for the August 20th meeting.
Tice,
Yes.
Hedges,
Yes.
Lipska,
Yes.
Hallinan,
Yes.
Moats,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Duval.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Anything else before the committee, before we adjourn? I know we have finance. If not, is there a motion to adjourn? So moved by Sherry Tice, seconded by Jeff Hallinan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:42 PM. Finance is going to start in 3 minutes.